Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the Go Mode Podcast Mentor Tournament 2021. This is the round 2 of the Swiss rounds. Today we have a good match for you, y'all. We have TJjoll and Linktothepastken. TJjoll being mentored by TreySpyre and Linktothepastken being mentored by JohnBono. I am one of your mentors, Professor Rando, and joining me is Blackwax. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm excited to see this match. I love these races because you never know who's gonna win.
Oh yeah, this is what makes the mentor tournament special. Anything goes when it comes to these matches. Seeing what their mentors are going to bring to the table when it comes to their what they want to, how the route, or how they are just teaching stuff and all that. This is what makes making this is what's all what makes it special. And we are underway here. And it's going to start in Link's house. We have 3 bombs.
That's always like the best thing to find in that chest is bombs, because now you just don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, and with our assured sword, things are actually we don't have to worry about actually wasting those bombs in general. We did get our map check, and that was Tower of Hera as a green pendant, and Desert is a regular pendant, and then Eastern Palace is just your regular crystal.
Alright, and he kills the guard so that he can get the tree pull. And it is nothing.
Just a single rupee, so we're not really going to be worried about that for now, or at least ever. Arrows from the uncle. Just a piece of heart to follow that's up.
And it looks like a little bit of conversation with the mentor, advising him to just do escape.
Yeah, this is a move I've seen a lot with these races. Going from my own experience. This is actually because with our assured sword, we can get all the 3 items that are in the front of escape right away.
Right, and with a mentor, it's not going to be hard to help them navigate the back of escape when they have that sword.
For sure, yeah. And I've seen runners. I've seen a couple starts here. Oh, we got a master sword right away. That's great.
Yeah, that definitely makes all of this a lot easier. And having a little bit of fun with the guards.
Yeah, knocking the guards off is totally fine in this case. Although you won't get anything, you won't advance the prize packs or anything like if you do that. So it's better just to kill them and try and advance that prize pack.
He still has not gotten a drop from a guard. Oh, there we go, arrows.
And more bombs in the boomerang chest. Okay, should be a little careful here. He doesn't want to take a death to the ball and chain guard. Gets it down though. I'm gonna check the cell for 3 more bombs.
And the save and quit. I kind of expected a death warp there since he only had 1 turn left, but I suppose if he doesn't want to do the back, they didn't find a key, so. Speak of the devil.
It could also be It could also be a comfort issue. Like I know some runners will especially those are starting out, will have trouble. May not be feeling entirely comfortable doing the dark rooms until they have a lamp, which is perfectly understandable when you're starting out. Okay, we're going to take a look at the lumberjack ledge. This will give us information if we need to kill Aga 1 for an item or not.
Yeah, we do not need to kill Aga for that item.
Nope. So our maximum shield is going to be a fire shield at most. Well, I mean, not at most, but it is going to be a fire shield as our true maximum. Was
And another tree pull that we are not going to do anything with.
yeah, just hearts. Not really. It's not really important, so to speak. Like those are nice if you need them in just like short bursts. But if like the most consistent way of possibly getting them is like if we had them as a stun prize hearts, it would come extremely valuable.
Yeah, that tree pull is really only going to be useful if you're in the Dark World on low health doing Hype Cave. You can pull that statue, you get the same prize out of it. And even then, chances of you remembering that it's going to be hearts is pretty low. And that is a third sword in Sphere 1. This looks a lot like an Agassiz.
Well, I mean, it might look like it at first, but we don't know for certain though. We'll only tell if we do get a lamp somehow. But getting a third sword like just under 10 minutes is great. And there's a lamp, so Aga 1 is now in play, and a Moon Pearl. Well, which is nice. And the hammer.
Hammer. So now
Wow.
we're a glove away from it not being an Agassiz.
This well was just the well was very loaded today.
Yeah, somebody thought that was a great hiding spot. And Ken walking past the bottle vendor, he doesn't have enough money for it.
It looked like Ken wanted to farm rupees, but it seemed like a mentor intervention that just keep going. We'll go ahead and just get these get the rest of these checks, and Ken going for the chicken clip.
Got to be careful with that chicken clip. If you lift the chicken up while the bomb is flashing, you will soft lock yourself. And he does have a bottle, so he can go directly up into sick hit.
The benefit of having a bottle inside hack is that you can usually just get that right away, and just a heart container. Checking out that library, And we do have 20 rupees. Not gonna grab that.
And he's just YOLOing the race game.
I've seen a mix of both strategies. Either you just go check it blind, or you check it, or you scout it out and then you run back afterwards. And for the case for checking just checking it blind is that you if it was an important item, then you go ahead and grab it right away and you don't waste any time. But on the contrary, you could if you do scout it out and it was just nothing, that too you can also save and quit out of it. Don't have to worry about it. But if it was an important item, then you'd have to like run back all the way and then just bomb it and then do the race game from there.
Right. Also, in the situation he's in where he has so little money, as long as there's not a green rupee over there, if that was money, you just grab it too. So it made a lot of sense to just YOLO it in this situation.
₹20 inside the dam. We're gonna check what's inside the sunken treasure as we start our South Shore checks.
And another 20 rupees. The money in this seed is very slow.
Yeah, and it looks like Ken is looking to just get some information about as to where he wants to go. He's going to go ahead and check out maybe Moldorm Cave.
Yeah, I think there was probably some discussion there about going to Gina's Cave after Dam. Because it makes it a little bit hard to get there, but it's also very efficient to check Dam into South Shore. And there is all the money right there.
Almost enough for Zora money. In fact, with that 20 rupees that we picked up, we're just 7 rupees away. Well, I would imagine Ken will want to look for some rupees along the way, in stun prices, in just prize packs.
I would certainly kill a few enemies just to see, because he did get that green rupee. So if one of them is in the rupee price pack, it would be worth it. He's got the moon pearl, so he can fake flip her over into Zora and the waterfall.
The waterfall fairy, just having that moon pearl is great because you can do that waterfall fairy check alongside. After you do the to the hobo, because you will be able to just get into a water block state just from that moon pearl. I don't know the actual reasoning of why it does that, but I know it is a thing that happens when you have the moon pearl and only the moon pearl.
Alright, and TJ is stream catching up. It does not look like he's far behind. Also checking the dam right about now.
Technical issues on TJ's end. Hopefully those they do actually get fully resolved. So he does check out the Haley Island. Not really anything to note about it. Ken will actually want to be careful as he's swimming over. Does not want to get sniped by any of the guards or any of the Zoras. because that is a one-hit KO if that ever touches him.
And that's the gold sword. In Sphere, well, I don't really know what Sphere that is actually. That was a big number.
That probably would be in one of the higher spears, because it can't be a Sphere 1 because it assumes that you got the Moon Pearl. It assumes that you get that sword somewhere in a spot where, from just your starting equipment alone. It would either be Sphere 2 or Sphere 3, like whatever. But of course, we don't know where those flippers are, so for all we know, it could be in a way higher sphere than what it is currently.
Alright, and the waterfall fairy, and he'll be able to water walk out of this.
Yeah, and that does at least clear up any problems of him taking a one-hit KO. Although he does have another problem in the fact that oh, nice ice rod. But it does clear it introduces a new problem that where if he does take damage and he's still in the water, he may possibly be soft locked.
Yeah, if you take damage, and he just killed water walk, so it won't matter. But if you take damage in the deep water, he still needs 5 rupees. If you take damage in the deep water while on a water walk, you can't move because it tries to jump you into the water.
Yeah, if you're close to some shallow water, you could possibly try and get yourself out. But if you're in a spot where there's no shallow water at all, it's pretty much a soft lock. You have to save and quit.
He's not able to check the Zora. That is the problem. Hopefully he can get the mirror before he gets the catfish. He can just check it then.
It doesn't feel good to not have enough rupees, like as you're about to approach it, and you only have like 5 rupees. Just only like a blue rupee would be enough to just pay for it. So yeah, hopefully a mirror does show up early. And then of course we have dark mode access, so that we could follow that up with catfish into Zora. Sashra Hut only having the red boomerang. Red boomerang is good for stun price checking, and also it's also handy for GT for hitting the switches on the left side.
Yeah. So he's going into Eastern. It looks like. Still looking for a way to get Dark World access without killing Aga.
Yeah. I think going into Bolus Eastern is fine if you have nothing else left to check. Though we do have Agina's Cave to check as well, but it is currently out of the way.
Yeah, it's pretty far out of the way. He had to skip Bottle Bender because he didn't have enough money. So there's another check, but it's also pretty far out of the way. Zora, really far out of the way. I might just go ahead and do Aga at this point, but there's definitely some argument to be said about there being potentially 3 items that you can get in here.
Yeah, 3 items in Eastern. If you can get them all on the front before you face Armos, it's good because you don't have to worry about. All you gotta do is just kill the boss, and you don't care about what dungeon item you get, because it's just dungeon item. Only it's tied to the dungeon itself. Oh, okay. Flute's pretty good here.
And that is an in-logic flute that gives you access to the mountain. And it helps you get to Agina a lot faster. And that'll give him a reason to go to back to the model vendor.
Yeah, you can get the bottle vendor right away, which I was gonna mention. When you're heading over to Kakariko, it doesn't really become that far out of the way. It's kind of annoying. You have to re-get this item, but you have a couple of chances to get over to the bottle vendor, because you're always going to be going to Kakariko most of the time during like the early game and mid game.
And it looks like we have TJ's stream back up. Or is that just...
this is just a double of Ken's
okay, that's a double
stream.
of Ken's. I was like, this is strangely in sync.
Double of Ken's stream. Seems like Ken was having a little bit of trouble trying to get the damage boost on the anti-fairy, so he's gonna have to clear out the room normally.
Yeah, thankfully, like, everything just kind of like moved into him. The Stoppos just walked right to him. So it made the clear of that room pretty quick.
Alright, so we're going to head to activate that flute. This, of course, is totally fine. You'll get the bottle vendor along the way. It's also, access to the mountain. Although you have three items that you can look at.
Yeah, old man is in logic with the lamp. Oh, there's TJ's stream. And you get bottle vendor again. Alright, and this will give him the free checks. With the lamp, like I was saying, it gives you old man, and then you can also go up and check the cave there. And you can see what's on top.
Yeah, you could potentially get the and you also get the item on the bottom inside Smack Rock if you do end up heading that way.
Alright, and it looks like we have TJ streamed up again, finally. And he's going into the back of Escape. Actually, we haven't seen this yet either. A Link to the Past can save and quit out of the basement.
Crossed up our scene. A glove, so there's dark mode access.
There you go. Pendant Eastern paid off. Or I mean Crystal Eastern, without the bow. Paid off.
That is the logical chain for that. Of course, you will have to double dip that later. But it's totally fine to double dip this, especially when the bolus Eastern play ends up working out in your favor.
And that is a blue cane that he is going to grab. That puts Spike Cave in logic, actually, and he, with that glove, can actually do it. Even as a fairy in a bottle, just in case he gets stuck on a torch or something.
Yeah, you're correct on that. I was trying to make sure I had my I had it right in my head. You can see we might see Spike Cave early, although I personally wouldn't do that.
I mean, they've been pretty thorough about their checks.
Yeah, and thoroughness does help if you want to just if you want to play it, you know, like as if you want to just grab every single possible item that you can possibly get. Though it's also fine just to skip out some items if you feel like they're going to be out of the way, or just you know, orphan out some items, orphan out some checks to make sure you if you feel like that there's something you don't need, or you know, no one doesn't want, you know, if you voluntarily not like hold on. Let me get my thoughts on this.
I mean, I like the Spike Cave check, because now if you come back up here without the mirror and you have the hook shot, you don't have to orphan off Spike Cave or Spiral Cave.
Yeah, it's not a bad choice, honestly. Thoroughness does help sometimes. If you are thorough, you won't have to worry about orphaning out stuff. If you are willing to do something a little bit risky and go for a calculated orphan, then you're basically playing for a gamble. What else am I trying to look for? Camel do the back of escape as well.
Alright, and then after this, I fully expect them to pick a Dark World portal and go in there. Did he just walk away from the key rat?
That could be a problem here. I don't know. I don't know if Ken realizes that. But John must have told him that he skipped the key rat, so he's heading back in here. Okay, so now we have the key. So we're gonna go ahead and get that Dark Cross check that we saw from TJjoll.
Okay, so
And
he's saving quitting so that he can float away faster.
Yeah, this generally is a good idea. Regardless, you get a refill right away, and yeah, you'll get a refill right away. You'll flute away to whatever you want, and then it's different if you were going to Link's house, where you only have those 3 pots 3 or 4 pots that you can pick up, and then get just those hearts from there. And it's also quicker than floating from sync, because you have to walk down walk down the hall to get outside. Of course, if you have to mirror, then you can just mirror to the front and don't have to worry about that at all. TJjoll is going to be heading into Hype Cave next. With 5 rupees. Arcana Samaria. Okay. Got something big here. And we have another Balo in Hype Cave, so pretty good. Definitely worth the hype there. Map check has been brought up. There was a pendant at and 5/6s are Swamp in Thieves Town.
Alright, so that cane's gonna probably come in pretty useful for Ice Palace then.
Yeah, once we get access to Ice Palace, we still need to find Mitts a way to kill the Freezor, either the Fire Rod or Bombos. And the flippers, logically. And possibly hook shots, given the logic.
Alright, and Ken getting the good news about the King of Samaria.
Well, TJjoll is heading towards the west, and gets 2 digs for 10 arrows. Really quick dig game. Go ahead and save and quit from there. And we're getting some divergence as well. Ken is heading off towards the pod area. Probably want to go ahead and grab Pyramid Ledge. Maybe goes into pod, although I don't really see a reason to go down there without a bow.
That and I mean, it's a pendant. We're not at a point yet where all the checks are bad enough to decide to go into a pendant dungeon. Although at the point where you're going into pendant dungeons, pod looks pretty juicy with all those items.
Yeah, when it comes to diving a pendant dungeon, it's a case of either you do it or you don't. In the case of pod being a pendant, you have 5 items to work with, and sometimes people just don't want to go into pendant pod, and I've seen it happen with pendant Thieves Town too, which it's just one where Thieves Town only has 1 less item that you can pick up from, which is a mix of 4. I mean, if you do go into if you're ever going to go into a pendant dungeon, the only one you're going to be going into is going to be a green pendant one, because you'll clear that and you have an item ready to go. Ken is actually looking to go ahead and check out the TJjoll getting 20 rupees out of the C-shaped house.
And Grumpy Fish throwing out some bombs. And that's the hook shot in the bombable shack.
That is going to be very important. So, as far as the logical ice is concerned, we're pretty much covered. So, all we really need to do is just get some mitts and a way to get out of the entrance, either the fire rod or bombos. And Ken seem to be actually turning the bottle, or turning the bottle vendor item, and he already did, so he already has it.
Yeah, the NPCs will either say nothing when you walk up to them if you've already checked them, or they will tell you that you already have it.
So, this TJjoll's play into Thieves Town does line up perfectly here, where this is our first crystal. This is a 5/6 as well. Not too far away from getting the other 5/6 crystal. All we really need is just flippers and mirror, and then we can get the pyramid fairy ready to go.
Yeah, hopefully though we don't find flippers. That's what you want to be your go mode item at this point.
I mean, it doesn't hurt to get flippers early because pyramid fairies could have progression as well. Like most of these checks could have progression, and although I might say like most, I mean like, well, yeah, any check can just be a progression. I don't know where I'm going with that one, but Ken will get the hook shot here.
And Thieves Town so far has been a bust.
I mean, either way, we will end up getting a crystal out of this. So even if it doesn't yield anything, it is still a crystal. Sure, we'll have to go up to East Death Mountain and then clear out Green Panahera. But this one is like Green Panahera is not a bad dungeon to go into. Neither is it a bad one to clear.
Yeah, and with Gold Sword, Moldorm's not even really a boss. It's just a bigger enemy.
Although Moldorm can still be a jerk if he throws a pretty bad hit on you. I've had it happen before, and most of the and where it's like I sometimes if I fall, either it's my fault or it's Moldorm just throwing me a bad knockback angle. But yeah, to go on what you said about Moldorm being like not even a boss, it just requires only 2 gold sword slashes, and yeah, it's a pretty easy fight all the way around. Looks like Ken. Oh, go ahead.
Even if somehow you only poke him with the gold sword, which seems unlikely, it's still you can't get the rage mode, so it's not like that's a big deal.
Yeah, because a poke from the gold sword deals tempered sword damage, so you can either poke and slash him, slash and slash him, or slash and spin him. Although at that point you'd probably just be slashing him anyway, because gold sword's spins are the same damage as if you are slashing them.
And down goes Blind, and that will be our first crystal of the match. TJjoll.
TJjoll is going to strike first blood here at about just over 38 minutes. So I think your next move here is you're going to head back up the mountain. I definitely think this is a good play for TJjoll, because, well, now that you have Paradox Cave, Spiral Cave, and Terra all ready to go. So yeah, this was a save quit from TJ, so makes sense to do that while we're here. And yeah, we're seeing TJjoll going into up that mountain right now. Gonna see what Paradox Cave has, and Spiral Cave, and Para.
I mean, that's 7, 8, 9, 10 checks. Yeah, I mean, I would be going here too.
I did the math. It's 8 checks. And they also have the 9th check with the Floridan Islands, although you can't really pick it up. So you can pick up 8 of the 9 items.
Well, there's also 2 in Hera.
Yeah, I counted those 2.
Looks like some more technical difficulties on TJ's side. It's trying to catch up though.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be able to get TJ back online here. And if we don't see the checks from TJjoll's side, I would imagine Ken would be heading up that way as well.
Yeah, there's also a possibility he checks the front of Skull Woods before he goes up the mountain, but I mean, the mountain is quite a bit of what he's got left.
Yeah, I think going to the front of the mountain is better than going into a fire rod-less Skull Woods crystal, no less. Sure, if it was a pendant, then sure, we can go in the front and don't have to worry about clearing the back here. But seeing that the amount of checks that we have is on the mountain is a lot, then I would imagine you are better off just going to the mountain anyway. Ken gets his first crystal, just about 41 minutes and some change.
And where is he? Oh, Dig Gang. He came from the this side. He didn't come from Type Cave.
Yeah, he came up from the Village of Outcast side, so he's gonna go ahead and just check those. Although this is going to be quick for Ken because, like we mentioned, it's just 2 digs, so it'll be a really quick check for him. All right, Ken is. All right, saving quitting.
All right, so he's probably headed up to the mountain.
Yeah, this definitely felt like a another intervention from John, telling them to go up the mountain because they're done with this check anyway. So you may as well just climb up the mountain while you're ahead. We're gonna see what is in Paradox Cave.
then TJ and Hera. Looks like he's headed up toward the boss.
Probably gonna fight Moldarn here.
It also looks like he
Cave.
escaped that chest. Ooh, that's a bow. So both items might be down on the bottom floors.
This opens up Pendant Pod. We can finish Eastern Palace. And that's just about it, honestly. But if we get a mirror here, we can actually go ahead and finish up. We can get Pendant Pod alongside Eastern. Probably Ken will want to go to Eastern first because it's a crystal.
And just money up on the floating island. I assume Spiral Cave will be done after Hera.
Yeah, generally, it's better just to go do Spiral last. If you're coming from the from Paradox Cave and you don't have your mirror yet, so you'll double back over to Spiral after that. And again, this is a perfectly fair play to go into Hera here because it is a green pendant, and this dungeon is really easy to clear out anyway, so it's not really too much of a concern. Just wants to break out the Hera pot, or actually, he's going to go back downstairs. I was curious if he was actually killing the enemies in case he was going to do Hera pot. It's going to go ahead and get the big key out of the big chest. This is totally fine, yeah. Because if you did do a Hera pot and you found out that there was one item in the big chest, you do actually have to make that decision of do you orphan that off, or do you take the risk and go for the green pendant? Or no, sorry, green pendant, big chest.
Yeah, doing Hera pot when you're not in go mode is a little bit of a risk because it's not an easy fast check to get back to if there's something in there. You have to come to the basement with nothing else around it and then climb back up that tower afterward.
Yeah, getting the big key here is totally fine. All
right, and now Ken will ascend the tower.
And here's something I didn't know you could do is like you can actually shoot a bow or arcane shots and hit the switch that way. I actually didn't even think you could do that because I know you couldn't reach that. It can't reach with the magic boomerang, but it can with obviously it can with a bow or arcane shot.
Right. So the boomerang for whatever reason can't go off screen. But the arrows and the blasts from the cane, they just go until they hit a point where the game can't read it anymore.
Yeah, I don't really know I don't even know the reason why that's the case. Maybe just I want to say it's just intended game behavior with the boomerang, but that's just my hypothesis.
It might have something to do with the boomerang coming back to you.
Probably, yeah.
Alright, and that is an item in the big chest. So, it's not important, but in a situation where you're orphaning off things and you panic because you left an item in here, that might cause problems later.
Yeah, and this is dependent on if TJjoll ended up doing Herapots. If he did do Herapots and ended up leaving the chest behind, the big chest behind, that could come back. That could possibly be in the back of his mind for quite a while. So Ken knocks down Moldorm with ease. Because with the gold star, this obviously we know this is actually really easy. So that will be the green pendants for Ken.
So, what is the next play? Flute to 5, turn in the green pendant, flute back to 5, and go to odd. Oh, Spiral Cave first.
Spiral Cave, probably, yeah. You probably will want to do. You'll probably want to do Spiral. You want probably going to get Eastern Palace cleared out already if Mirror isn't accessible, or is later in the sphere chain, which is looking like that right now.
And it, yeah. No, I agree with that.
Okay, so we're going to head over to Spiral Cave and see what that was. Just a piece of heart, and we're going to flute away over to 5. I would imagine.
Yeah. I can't think of a better play at that point in time. Nothing else really makes sense. But it looks like TJ had the same idea and is going into pod right now.
Is off to okay. Ken is off to go ahead and clear out this go and grab the green pendant, obviously. So yeah, so it looks like Ken wanted to head over to clear Eastern first, but I think Ken or John wanted to just say get the green pendant first, then clear it, because it'll be quicker to go and get the green pendant while you're here already. That is an Ether Medallion.
Alright, and from TJ's side, we can tell that it is not bow-locked pod. So if somebody had done Aga, which neither of them did, but if somebody had, this could have really steered them off course for a while.
Yeah, but of course, since both players got the bow, not only just is a moot point, not really entirely important at all. And Ken is heading to clear out the Armos Knights, which is actually a fair play. Although Ken was looking to redo the checks he's already done, but Ken or John, of course, saying, "Well, you got all the items, so we're here to kill Armos Knights."
Yeah, that definitely looked like some intervention from the mentor. Man, I'm having a hard time with some words tonight.
It's okay. I'm right here anyway. But yeah. So we're gonna see the play here for Armos Knights. This will give Ken another crystal, but that will be his second one. And using that bow to knock down the Stalfos in one hit, and also it's a quick kill, as in it doesn't take long for the animation for killing the enemy is not as long as you slashing the enemy. All right, Ken is ready for some Armos Knights. 3 hits per Armos Knight. The last one gets refilled. On it goes.
Right. So if you don't get the quick kill on that, the last one gets refilled when it turns red.
Yeah,
The
his
strat-
HP does.
The strat he was going for was to just kill them all individually without putting 2 arrows in the first one, but he missed. It only cost him a couple arrows though.
Yeah, it's fine though. But yeah, if when the Armos Knight gets enraged, it requires 3 more arrows to take him down, regardless of whether or not regardless of how many arrows was already in that Armos Knight. Ken is looking to do the dick game, or the dick spot, flute spot.
Yeah, I could see this. It's a one-off check. Do it while you're thinking about it. Sometimes it's hard to get back here. You've already done Stumpy, so it's not like if you get the mirror, it's going to get any faster.
Right. So it's a one-off. Yeah, totally fair to make that. So we're now going to see Ken heading into pod. Pendant pod, again, it's a case of either you do it or you don't. In this case, it seems the runners are probably just being corralled towards that spot. So for all we know, this could have progression. And if it doesn't, the only spots that would have progression would be Agina's, Zora, and Skull Woods.
All right, and now we get to see what secrets Pod holds.
Yeah, so so of course we're going to be seeing this play from Ken. We also saw this from TJ. Hopefully those issues get resolved on his end as well. Actually ended up yeah. So Ken is heading towards the Bollock side, which is totally fine.
And it seems TJ has slain Helmasaur. for half magic.
And I actually got some half magic out of that too, from that kill from of the armor Thomas Arcane. Half magic being a really nice item to have, cuts down on the efficiency, cuts down on the amount of magic you need to use for your magic drains out of. Obviously, makes the fire rod more magic efficient.
Yeah, it helps a lot with things like Cold Stare and Trinex. Or climbing GT.
Yeah, at that point, if you were in GT and you have your fire rod, you may as well just start shooting fire rod shots at the Stalfos, because they do go down as a quick kill, which is the same amount of damage it would take you, the same amount of time it takes for an enemy to go away, as if you threw a pot at it. TJjoll is heading over towards the catfish. We did see this from Ken earlier. Wasn't anything of importance. Him happy to spend a bit of time in that room, ends up getting the Red's hard hat beetle over to the opposite side of where the switches are, the pegs are. So has to reset the room to put it back on the right side.
Yeah, I think that bomb's gonna miss that hole. Yep.
I don't know, actually. It usually the range of the bomb is larger than you think it is.
I mean, it's really not that big of a deal either way. But as soon as you walk into that room, you can just throw a bomb over there anyways.
Yeah, the only point of doing that is to make is to save a bit of time, having to place down that bomb when you're in the dark maze. Heading into Skull Woods.
Alright, big key in the maze. I wonder if he's going to kill Helmosaur.
I would think he would do that. Mostly because well, he won't know this until later, but he will have to. He will see that there is another item on a Helmosaur, so he may just end up go ahead and getting that taken care of. We do see a book over on TJjoll's side, within Skull Woods, the Gibdo room.
The book is gross. So that opens up Ether Tablet and Desert, and nothing else.
It also lets us read the pedestal too.
Well, yeah, that's true. But we don't have the mirror, so that's pretty out of the way just to go read it.
Now, the one time you would probably be wanting to do that... Oh, there's mitts.
Oh, there we go. There's the progression.
Yeah, and TJjoll's immediately saving quitting out of that.
I would save and quit, flute to 6. Flute to 6 and go to the mire area at this point.
Yeah, you'll get to know whether or not that green pendant was worth it. If it was ether, then doing green pendants was absolutely required, and you had to grab Saw's rawest item. There's 2 tries for that to happen too. So you do know that both medallion dungeons are crystals,
and it is ether. The green pendant was required.
So that is great for TJjoll, which I would imagine he had already picked. He did already acquire the green pendants from there when he was doing Tower of Hera. Yeah, he did actually end up clearing Tower of Hera. So he does have that ether ready to go. A new thing that was added in the most recent version of Vision 3031, the fact that any flashing is actually reduced. There's a toggle post-generation that is called Reduce Flashing, and it disables any of the big screen flashing that would cause any photosensitivity issues. And we're seeing it again from Ken's side. Very, very, very nice addition to the game, and makes actually viewing some of these races a lot more tolerable. Alright, Linktothepastken is on Palace Arcane. He will get the half magic here. And Big Key on the bridge would have been a Godmire if he was in Go mode, but unfortunately, he is not.
Yeah, every time I see that, the first thing that goes through my head was, could have been a Godmire.
And it wouldn't be a Godmire either way.
That is a Fire Rod, so now Makula is killable.
Yeah. Oh, and that actually leaves us with only the mirror and flippers, possibly the boots for GT Biggie on Torch, that 1 in 22 possibility for Go mode. Of course, we still have to look at Turtle Rock's medallion.
Yeah, I was gonna say that also potentially puts Trinex into play too.
This ends up being a logically required double div of Skull Woods, which doesn't feel really well, and it doesn't feel really good if you. So, and that right there would genuinely get me in a run if I was racing this. I normally don't want to go into Skull Woods, like Fire Rod plus Skull Woods, if it's a crystal. If it was a pendant, then sure, I'll do it. But not when it's a crystal. And if it's logically required, a logical double dip required, I would feel really behind here.
Yeah, finding those mitts there after like actively skipping it, that hurts. Especially since you went to the mountain and with the hook shot, and now you have to go back to the mountain to be able to check the dark side.
Also end up getting our second item, which was a piece of heart. So TJjoll is out of here. He's going to head to the back of Meyer here. Ken, however, is going to get the mitts early, since he did choose to go to the front instead of the back.
He is also going to the back, though. I was wondering if he was just gonna back out once he found the mitts, because it's that. I mean, that's a pretty major item.
Seems like Ken wants to he's trying to figure out what he wants to do here. Probably want to talk to with his and is opting to save and quit out of the book.
Okay, so he did decide to nope out of Skull Woods. The book might not be required. It looks like, yeah, he's gonna be going to the minor area too.
That will give him the fire rod. But this does actually raise in a good question. If that book ends up being required for something like the Ether Tablet or the Desert, would Ken and John? Oh, that's a def, but has a fairy reserve.
Fairy.
But yeah, the question I want to pose is, if it is required for Ether Tablet or Desert Palace, would Ken and John go back to Skull, and then grab that book, like, really quickly?
Well, he's gonna get the fire rod here, so there's a pretty good chance he grabs it on his way back to the Skull Woods, assuming that he's not already in go mode.
Right. This, of course, we still need to find the flippers and mirror to put us into that 1 in 22 go mode. So we're in go -2. 1 -1 out of 2 go -2. 1 out of 22.
Alright, and we are gonna see what is on Dark Death Mountain.
Yep. Doing that play makes sense for TJjoll, TJ, because he did end up getting the both items out of Skull Woods, so he actually will save time, instead of having to go back into Skull to regain the book, and also, you know, all he'll be doing is just getting that crystal clear when he ends up being in go mode.
Right. This is also information on where's he going? Oh, Ether Tablet. This is also information on the medallion you need for Troll. So logically, as far as like progression goes, it makes sense because you want to know what you need.
Right. So Ether Tablet check for TJjoll. If this ends up being Flipper's mirror, then that's going to be a problem. It is not, though, just a heart container. While Ken gets the fire rod out of the lobby of Misery Mire.
I mean,
Alright,
it is also,
TJjoll is good. What?
It's also pretty likely that the medallion you need for this is just on the mountain.
Yeah, that too. It is also Ether.
Okay, so what are we thinking? Mirror on Laser Bridge?
That would be really, really evil. But I would imagine TJjoll's gonna head over to Hookshot Cave and Super Bunny Cave first before diving down there. Yeah, if that mirror ends up being on Laser Bridge, then that's really bad because Mimic Cave is also just right down the street in Turtle Rock. nothing out of Super Bunny Cave. Just gonna go ahead and look into Hookshot Cave. Also too with those mets and stuff, we do have Smith Chain all ready to go as well. Mirrorless, but it is Smith Chain.
Mirrorless Smith Chain is the worst thing ever.
Yeah, no one likes to do mirrorless Smith Chain. But if it's required, then you have to bite the bullet there.
I mean, at least if you got the powder beforehand, you could do hammer pegs that pick up the smith, save and quit, and then when you turn them in, you can also do magic bat. But that's still not the best way to get 4 checks in.
Yeah, and with it being really quick too, like it's just like it doesn't feel good just to have to save and quit each time you do each part of the sequence. But TJjoll is now in Turtle Rock. 5 items to grab from here. And it's also at this point where we can actually start making some inferences as to what we could or what we'll see from here. Because for one thing, neither the flippers is not going to be in Ice Palace. Neither will mirror or flippers be in Swamp, because that's what we need to get in there. So if TJ opts to fake flipper over to ice, the only thing that would possibly be there for him is the mirror or boots.
You know what this means, though, since those are the only 2 items we need, potentially, is that we gotta go mode Swamp.
Oh, yeah, of course. A go mode Swamp is always nice to see, because you can dive her down.
But you're also hoping for
The Burna.
Go mode Flipper so that you can also go mode Ice.
That too, because I mean you have ice. You also have Icebreaker as well. Pretty straightforward to get down easily. Yeah, Ken and meanwhile Ken is doing the Vitreous fights and is doing using the blue canes to take down the eye. Just slashing away at it, takes it down without a problem.
TJ trying real hard not to get hit by that bunny beam.
That bunny beam likes to track down your position like a lot. So you either just want to hide underneath a wall, or if you get bunny beam, just hope for another enemy to be in the area, so you can easily take a hit, so that you're out to the bunny states like immediately. Alright, Ken is choosing to go to the mountain. Probably some mental discussion between the two. Probably saying, yeah, we're not going to go into Skull Woods anytime soon. We're probably going to be go-moding this out. The good news about this, though, is that Ken won't get the heart container that's on Ether tablets. But
Yeah,
we'll
so-
also get to know about. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say Ken's gonna be saving time because he's not gonna have to go to the tablet, but he's still gonna get the information from Turtle Rock.
Yeah, and he probably will go in too. This still doesn't shake out the fact that we might have to go into desert. Oh, there's the powder.
That makes Mirrorless Smith slightly palatable. So if we find mirror on Laser Bridge, you immediately mirror into Mimic Cave, or you skip it forever.
Yeah, what I was gonna mention too was if that book is still necessary for desert access, and that mirror shows up, Ken and John will have to go all the way back to Skull to get that book. Possibly while they're still doing we're still clearing out Skull Woods, and that will be a big time sink for Ken. So anyway, laser bridge for TJjoll, only 10 arrows to start. There is a small key. We are looking in our potions. We did see that we have a red, so we're gonna pop that immediately. Map. And a piece of heart, so it's off to try next. If that has the mirror, then ugh.
Yeah, if that has the mirror, you probably just skip Mimic Cave. The only other play to get to Mimic Cave is to go back in immediately, because you're not coming back up here until it's the last thing.
And it also opens up Bombo's tablet, Cave 45, Checkerboard Cave, and Graveyard Ledge, and it also opens up a path for deserts, which Ken and John could use to get into desert and wouldn't have to worry about the book at all.
Yeah, at this point in time, you just don't want to find mirror on Trinex. But you still want the mirror to be the next thing you find.
Yeah, it's a really terrible spot for that to pop up anyway. Because like you said, you have to go all the way back to Mimic Cave, and then we'll go all the way back to Turnaround to get through Turnaround to get to Mimic Cave, and you still have to and even then you still have to just after you've done that, just you can flew away, and it's just not fun. Okay, so we did get every item. I wasn't keeping track of the items. So it's another crystal. So you either do the Smith. You're probably gonna do Mirror Smith Chain here, and then you go to desert.
Yeah, that sounds about right. You would. Those are the only two real plays left. I don't know if TJ ever got to check Zora though, and I'm kind of wondering if the early Zora play that Ken kind of got miffed out of is what we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We don't exactly know if TJ ended up doing Zora or not, just because of the technical issues that we had earlier. But TJ is heading over into Village of Outcasts. Is going to do the Mirrorless Smith Chain. Okay, this is totally fine, and this is definitely lining up with the route that I have in mind. You're probably going to be wanting to clear out. What's it? Probably want to clear out the Smith Chain as much as you want, or Skull. Yeah, you want to clear out Skull Witch as much as late as you can. You want to clear out Skull Witch as late as you can while you're in go mode, because because you could just open up the back, and then just flute away, and then just clear that, and then mirror out, flute away, back upward to your next dungeon or GT if that's your last one.
By the way, mirror on Smith right here is pretty gross.
Yeah, because like we mentioned, this is while you're doing the mirrorless Smith chain, and you'll be probably going without that mirror for a while, and if you do see it while you're on the mirrorless Smith chain, it's just like, yeah, it's not a fun spot at all. Ken gets tagged by the bunny beam and also gets tagged by the pokey. Yep, has the fairy. Oh boy, flippers. Oh, on the magic bat.
Straight to ice. I would go straight to ice.
Yeah, you're going to go to ice here, for sure. You're going to be wanting to abandon that Smith chain right away until you. Oh dear.
And that. Oh, he has another fairy. Okay.
Yeah, he did. Both runners do have all 4 bottles filled up. And that and correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't that powder in Turtle Rock?
Yep, it was in the crystal roller room.
Ooh, yeah. So you had to clear out Turtle Rock to even get those flippers. That is not a fun progression chain at all.
Right. When Ken does it, he will probably do Skullwoods first because it's right there. There's still an item in there. He can kill Molecule now, so there's no point in not doing it if you're right there. But when he goes back into Skullwoods and finds that book, he's gonna be upset because there's no more trips up the mountain that are easy.
Yeah, and not to mention it leaves that inference that I mentioned where they could possibly be heading into deserts, and if it ends up being in ice, then it's pretty much TJjoll's race to lose. But this is all depending on if that scenario ever pops up. If they do the mirrorless Smith chain and bails out of it the same way that TJjoll has, goes into ice, and if it ends up being the mirror ends up being here, then they should be not too far behind from TJ.
Yeah, I mean, there's still some places where Ken could save time, but if the mirror is in ice, then you are correct. It is TJ's race to lose.
In that situation, of course, the race isn't over. Yeah, there could be a lot of factors that come in that sway the race in the favor of Ken. Of course, I always say, barring any catastrophic things happening, like a Ganon fall, like several Ganon falls or Ganon deaths and stuff like that. Of course, I don't wish anyone, even my worst enemies, that kind of fate on anyone. But those things do happen, as rare as it is.
I didn't see what was in the big chest.
I don't believe it was anything.
Okay. Alright, so that means there's still one item left in here. That is either on the boss or in the unfortunate iced tea. Ken trying to pick up that berry, not having too much luck with it.
It's okay though. So he should, if he plays this, if Ken plays this fight right, he should be able to get this down and get Trinix down in one hit, in one attempt. With the half magic, obviously, he will be using a lot of rod shots to get the fight going. And with the gold sword, these hits don't take too long. Like these take like 3 slashes on the head, so they're not too difficult. And we're getting another boss fight in the form of Cold Stare.
That fire rod does gold sword damage to Cold Stare. Alright, and they are both holding crystals at the same time.
Actually, I knew that. I didn't know that. Yeah, you were right. It actually does the same. Like they do, I believe they do the same amount of damage. Yeah, they do the same amount of damage to. Or no, actually, I think for the Cold Stare clouds themselves, they only do 16 damage. So they only you only shoot 4 times. But they actually. No. Actually, what am I saying? I'm looking at the damage tables right now. They do the same damage as a Tempered Sword, or a Gold Sword, rather. I did not know that.
Yeah, Fire Rod is Fire Rod with half magic makes Cold Stare easy.
Look at the damage table and I'm like, is that true? I wasn't entirely sure if that was actually correct or not, but it actually is. The more you know. So, TJjoll is continuing the mirrorless Smith chain. Not finding anything out of ice, other than a crystal. Ken is heading back into Skull Woods. Is probably gonna get the book again. Is gonna probably get the book and maybe taking it over to Desert.
And TJ finishing up the Smith chain. Ooh, accidentally dropped the chest. Good thing he noticed. So you walk out that door and it's gone.
Yeah, that would not be fun if that happens. So, all right, we're going to spook to 7. We're going to see what that purple chest gives us. It's the mirror. Oh, so that's 1 in 22 go mode. Again, this is only in the if so as long as the DT big key is not on the torch, then TJjoll is in go mode. Yeah, that is not a fun spot for that mirror. It is such a plando spot for that.
That is gross. No, that is. This seed went from okay to real bad, real fast. Just with that one location.
Yeah, that is a awful spot for that. Like, no matter how you slice that is placing the mirror on the purple chest when you have no way to mirror back to that, only just a save and quit. It is not fun, and this is the same thing that we talked about before, where we ended up going with where we had Skull Woods being a logically required double dip, where our fire rod ended up being a misery mire, but we needed the mitts from Skull Woods to even get to that fire rod. Yeah, this is not a good seed all the way through. Alright, Ken is now heading into the Mafia fights. So in this case, Ken is probably getting the book here. Oh, that's a fall from Ken, and with no fairy, has to run all the way back.
Yeah. So the thing about the Mothula fight is, it sucks. It's almost completely RNG. I've seen Mothula fights that were like, you know, half a second long because none of the spikes moved and Moth stayed right in the middle of the room. And then there's fights where as soon as Moth starts moving, you have like 6 spikes coming at you, and suddenly you have to also dodge his ranged attack, and it's just, you can't do anything about it except roll with the punches. And sometimes it just sucks.
Yeah, the mob fight is a really interesting fight because it is a very RNG a very RNG map, RNG pattern, and how she moves. Also, not helped by the fact that if you either do a tempered sword or gold sword spin, or not try to hit Mothula while she is up against the spiky wall, it will do 0 damage. So you have to make sure Mothula is in the middle of the room in order to fight her. Otherwise, things start to become a problem. Also, I like that. I like how Ken used the hook shot here to, while she's picking up the hook shot, like picking up the crystal. It's that funny little visual effect.
I kind of thought that was gonna fall.
Normally, that doesn't soft lock. It should soft lock. It's just a funny visual at best.
I think the only reason it doesn't, because I know if you do that stuff again, when you hold up the sword, you get locked into place and you can't move. I think the only reason it doesn't do it with other bosses is because in the cutscene.
I think the same thing kind of applies if you, during the cutscene. If you used your hook shot when you picked up the crystal and you're talking to the maiden, I believe that's still the same kind of effect. Could be wrong though. I never really sat down to play the vanilla game. I should probably do that with the NMG speedrun. But anyway, TJjoll has got the 6th and final crystal. Although to be fair, he still has to do Skull Woods, so 6th crystal. But this will mean Joel is going to head into Skull Woods. I was going to say 6th and final crystal, but I said, like, wait a minute, no, we still have a fight. We have another boss fight left. But Ken is going to go and get that book. Hopefully he does the Smith chain. Alright, it's a save quit.
That's not a good sign.
I think they're following the book into deserts or the tablets, whatever. Yeah, that seems to be the case. Oh wait, we're going to 3. Yeah, we're going to 3. I think this is.
No.
I think we're seeing a spit chain.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a pad read. Okay.
Oh, because they don't have the mirror yet. Yeah. Okay. That
Okay.
is just gonna spend a lot of time. To be completely honest. You have the flute
Yeah.
flute out of there, so it's not as bad. But without the mirror, checking ped is just rough.
Yeah. And I wouldn't put them again. I wouldn't put this against them by any means because they both TJ and Ken opted to go and clear out Pen and Pod, and they were probably banking it to be on Ped, which was just couch cash. So you're gonna flute. You're taking out the flute. This probably is to the into Desert Palace, which means oops. Okay. I guess they're just gonna roll this and just gonna head into Dark World here. I believe this is gonna be the spin.
And down goes Mothula. That is 7 crystals for TJjoll, which means he is headed to Ganon's tower. We do not have a bot for it, but if you want to guess where the key is in Ganon's tower, you can pick numbers 1 through 22.
Yes, as there are a total of 21 chests and a single torch that is in the basement of GT that makes up a total of 22 possible checks. One of them has the big key. Hopefully, it's not on the. Hopefully, it's not on the torch, because if it is on the torch, then we still have to find some boots.
If you picked 1, 3, or 7, that is Mocha Jones. Really? Right as I'm saying that, I looked over. Mocha Jones already had it in chat. So, the reason 1, 3, and 7 is rude is because if you go straight to the torch, that's 1. If you do Hope Room and then go over to the torch, that's 3. And if you do Hope Room and the Compass Room and then do the torch, that's 7.
And that whole went, of course, that, like you mentioned, it all leads to the torch. So if it is on the torch, then oh boy, this is going to mean a lot of different things. We have Mimic Cave. We know what Spectacle Rock is, so we don't have to worry about that. I don't believe we did see Hobo earlier, yeah. That's where we got the gold sword from. We did see Zora Ledge. We did see the Waterfall of Wishing. So that would leave the mirror checks, the Pyramid Fairy, Desert, or Zora.
Yeah, and in that case, it's really anyone's game. Like, at that point, there's nobody really has the advantage if the key's there and nobody has the boots.
Yeah, and anyway, guesses are closed. TJjoll is heading towards the left first, into Hope Room. Right, into Hope Room. Gets number 1 is a mushroom. Number 2 is a ruby. And since we don't have any keys, we're going to be heading to the left.
Boots could be in Potion Shop.
That too. Alright,
And it doesn't matter. It is go mode.
Alright, just 50 rupees for number 4. There is Ken's Flippers. Obviously, I would not be surprised if they end up going into Flute, although this ends up being the wrong choice. But it looks like they're not, actually. We've seen 7 checks, still no big key. Number 7 ended up being 50 rupees.
And TJ using my favorite strat, low percent ether on Stalfos, because who wants to chase those things down?
So the good thing about this is that Ken will end up being in Go mode. Number 8 is bombs. But we'll still have to clear out Ice Palace. But it is a Go mode Ice Palace, though.
Oh, is he actually doing purple chest right now?
Yeah, he is.
Oh, nice. Well, at least he's getting some sort of time save. But it is still TJ's praise to lose.
And of course, it ain't over until it's over. And again, anything could possibly happen, barring any catastrophic issues. This will be TJjoll's. Now, if he does end up having a lot of trouble on Ganon, then it could get really, really close. Like, very, very close. This only means if like Ken can make it go by really, really quickly, given the given how much he has given how much he has to walk around all the time. But Ken has entered Go mode. Going to see Ken going to 8 or 7, sorry, going into Swamp.
DJ still has not found the big key. Oh my god, is it in tile room?
That would put an exclamation point on this really rude seed.
Yeah, that mirror location is pretty garbage.
Yeah, it is not a fun spot for that at all. I mentioned that already. I kept track of how much we're on. We did get Bob's torch though. In my mind should be 14 because coming up is 15, 16, 17. He's in 16. Along with a single arrow, because why not?
Yeah, I got the same.
So it looks like closest one to that ended up being Morg CL with 13. Moko-chan's also, before doing the 1, 3, and 7, also chose 13. So, congratulations, you get some internet points, because internet points are great.
Ooh, and TJ narrowly avoiding both of those lasers.
Really clean mimics too.
Yeah, that was pretty good on them.
Of course, the worst thing that could possibly happen is Silvers end up being a GT like it always is, at least from my experience. It seems like every time I ever see or roll seeds, it always seems like it ends up being Silvers and GT like all the time.
Yeah, it's really easy for the game to put the second bow there because you only need the one bow logically, and Silvers only have to be accessible before cannon.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure TJjoll can do a serverless fight. Although if he isn't comfortable with that, could probably try to take a detour and find Silvers. But of course, Trey could also try and show it off in real time. At least the way how you do it. But given that he's going through GT without that silver arrows. I would say he is confident in doing that. Of course, you can always check the four chest sets up in GT to find those silvers. But if it's not there, then I do hope that he actually knows how to do it.
Yeah, if nothing else, he does have gold sword, and so if he has to do it on the fly, it won't be as difficult, just because it won't be as long. The
gold
silverless is tedious.
Yeah, with a total of 52 spins for each part of that fight, it does take a lot of time and a lot of perseverance to do that fight. You would see it quite a lot in the main tournaments where it's hard standard and you don't have the luxury of finding silvers. TJ is going to spend a bit of time waiting out the timer and getting the half magic or the magic refill here instead of having to worry about causing a soft lock at any time. It looks like based on TJjoll's decision to not check any chests, it seems to me that he is definitely confident in doing a silverless scanning, which is great because silverless scanning is pretty important when it comes to fighting Ganon, because of course you won't have the silver arrows every single time you play. A knockdown from Moldarm onto TJjoll, while Ken has gotten his 6th crystal heading into Ice Palace.
Yeah, like you were saying before, Moldstorm can still be a jerk even with that gold sword.
Yeah. But Moldarm 2 goes down. If he wants to check Moldarm 2, that's totally fine. It's going to leave it out. That's, again, perfectly understandable, because since TJjoll doesn't really... if he's comfortable with doing silverless, doesn't have to check anything else. If he feels like he's ready, he's ready.
And he gets through the Helmosaur spike room without too much trouble. Doing that room without boots is not fun.
I mean, you can still use the hook shot to line yourself up properly, but yeah, it would be nice to have the boots in for that, so that you can, once you do get your hook shot in, you can easily just dash up, and you won't have to worry about the conveyor smashing with you, or the as well. Pretty nice Ega 2 fights as well. It's going to go into the Ganon fight pretty soon. And it ended up being a triple-double, which is great for because it's either you get a triple-double or you get the double-triple, which is the best ones you can possibly get. And Ken is opting to go and do IPBJ. I want to say.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Seems like, yeah, it may not be entirely comfortable with Icebreaker just yet. It looks like he's actually attempting to do the Ice Palace bomb jump. The silver arrows end up being in the light world, so either the the Witch, Graveyard Lich,
Any of the mirror
Cave
checks,
45, Bombo's Tablets, maybe Desert Ledge,
really. Or desert itself.
Cave, Checkerboard Cave,
Yeah, checkerboard cave.
Mimic Cave. Or that's no, that's Death
Mimic
Mountain.
Cave.
Never mind.
Oh no,
No,
you're
no,
right.
that would actually never mind. That's Death Mountain, not Light Worlds. It's just Witch, Zora, the rest of the mirror checks safe except for Mimic Cave.
Ooh,
A little too early there for Joel.
I think this is the last.
Yep,
one.
a little too early there.
There we go.
That is
All
going
right.
to cover it. GG's in the chat for TJjoll is going to take the win over Linktothepastken.
All right, and after the 1x3 bridge, he finishes in first place with a 155.27.
Yeah, and that is an official racetime.gg time. We'll see if we can get TJjoll and TreySpyre in for an interview. Shoutouts to Ken and John as well. They put on an excellent performance as well, in spite of all of that. Definitely should give both TJjoll, Linktothepastken, a follow, as well as their mentors TreySpyre and JohnBono. They have put on an excellent performance for tonight.
All right, and it looks like Ken is still going. We'll see how far he gets. If he's still going right now, though, he's probably going to finish. Let's see if we can get TJ and TreySpyre in here for interviews.
Yeah, and they played it up really well. And again, Ken and John did a good job as well. They stuck it out all the way through, and even if they do the same kind of movements as TJjoll ended up doing, I believe it was just the timing of when TJjoll ended up doing the mirrorless Smith chain to get that mirror off the purple chest, that pretty much settled it. And welcome on in, TJjoll and TreySpyre. GG, and congratulations on the win.
Thanks, guys. GG's.
Yeah,
GG,
thanks.
man.
Okay, so let's be honest here. This seed was quite a thing.
It
don't
was
say.
something. It was something.
Who puts that there?
Which that, please?
The mirror mostly. The everything else, it's you can deal with it, you can handle it. But the mirror, come on.
The
Yeah,
mirror.
mirror was a
Flippers didn't feel great.
Yeah, it really just came down to the fact that first of all, you had to do a logical double dip of Skull Woods because you had that fire rod locked behind the bits that was in mire, and after you clear that out, you go into Skull Woods, which is something that I would never do because I don't like going into fire rodless Skull Woods, even if it as a crystal. As a pendant, sure, but as a crystal, no way I'm gonna do that.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
I totally understand that sort of the same guidance I gave TJ in this one. Because
Yeah.
but I mean, then you go to TR and there's a book and the mitts just sitting there.
Yeah, Skullwoods book mitts. Here you go. Yeah, that was. But yeah, no, I agree completely. Going into Fire Rod less Skullwoods never feels right at any point.
No.
Well, yes, especially
then-
when if you don't even have the mirror, you can't check peg. There's no North World to like link into it.
Yeah, just never turns into a good time. That's for sure.
Yeah. What actually compelled you? What so Trey? What do you feel that if you were in that situation, would you even attempt to go into there? Because, like, to be honest, when you have the Fire Rod being locked behind a mitts that you found in Skullwoods, and then following them up with a Turtle Rock, which had the powder, which led into your flippers, like, would you ever do that in, like, if you were actually sitting down and playing this?
Like skip out on Skullwoods early.
Yeah, Skullwoods. Skip out Skullwoods early.
Yeah. Honestly, and that's exactly why I told TJ as we were going through TR or not TR, Thieves Town. We had just gotten the hook shot, so it's at that point the mountain is open. There's so much to do. So I was basically like, unless we get a fire rod or a mirror or a cape, something that lets us do more stuff in North Dark World, we should probably just go off the mountain because there's a ton of stuff to do. We can probably find a fire rod. Don't worry about double dipping this darn Skullwoods dungeon. It's a toss up because like in this seed, you get burned kind of if you don't go in there.
Yeah, and I totally agree with that because and I just said it, like, going into a Crystal Skullwoods Fire Rod list is something that's not everyone's going to do unless you end up clown-riding it. And unfortunately, it ended up being with that scenario where you did have to do it regardless. And yeah, it is going to burn someone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely.
But I mean, there's a lot of people in camp Skullwoods Overworld. I'm half the time in that camp, and half the time I don't want to ever stare at Skullwoods.
Yeah, it's a hard decision to make if you end up getting that situation.
Yeah,
that's it. And it also doesn't help too if the same way that you can apply that for the powder that ended up being in Turtle Rock or the mirrorless Smith chain, because let's be honest, no one wants to do the mirrorless Smith chain. Like, that is such where the mirror ended up being on the purple chest. It is such a plando place to put that.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, definitely couldn't get much worse.
Oh yeah.
Well,
how about that logical double dip of TR, by the way, with that ice rod in the waterfall?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even catch that.
Yeah,
good
because you
times
have to go to Crystal Roller to get your powder, to get your flippers, to get your ice rod.
Yeah, that is true.
Like,
and both
it
of you
worse.
and both of you ended up doing fake flippers. So you had to single dip this, but yeah, that is a logical double dip of Turtle Rock. I did not think of that.
Mm-hmm. As soon as we saw that mushroom was in GT, it was guaranteed.
Yep.
Also,
Yeah.
I'm mad that there were no boots anywhere.
I am so
Yeah.
I just want boots one of these days. I can't remember the last seed I had with boots ever.
Yeah,
this
neither one of you found boots.
Yeah.
If you have a seed when you have no boots, it's always going to be kind of a slog. It is going to it is going to definitely move at a snail's pace. You can't do all the fun execution stuff with key dashing and also optimizing your movements and such. It feels like you're moving you're like moving through molasses, like all the time.
Yep. Oh, absolutely.
That's accurate.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It really just I'm just gonna have to say this too, is just that it really just came down to the timing of when you guys got the went to do the mirrorless Smith chain. That's really what it was. Ken was still without the book at that point because they made the decision to, after they got the bits, to bail out of Skull Woods, leaving the book back in the in the Gibdo room. And it wasn't until later on that when they were going through Skull Woods and clearing that out, they got the book again, and then they did the Smith, and then they did the Smith chain, the mirrorless Smith chain. That was pretty much what kind of decided it. If you got the book and you went into your mirrorless Smith chain a little bit later on, then it would be that pretty much what decided. But if you leave it, then that's gonna be in the back of your mind for quite a while, and who knows if you end up going into it's like Desert Palace or going back to do the mirrorless Smith chain, because neither of those choices at that point in time is good. It is not good at all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
We were on the coin flip at that point there too for a second.
I honestly kind of forgot Smiths were a thing until we were going through until we were going through TR. I legitimately, like, we were in Crystal Roller, got powder, and was like, oh wait, Smith chain's a thing.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah.
Like,
and
we can rob this powder in now, I guess.
Yeah, and looks like Ken opts to forfeit out of the race, but good effort from Ken and John. GG's in the chat either way. They put on an excellent performance all the way through, and we'll see if we can get them in for an interview.
All right, and we are joined with a Link to the Past Ken and his mentor John the Branch. GG's, guys.
GG.
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 That's good.
We've been talking about this for a while, and we both came to the agreement that if you were going to do, there is no way a person, if this wasn't assisted, and you were doing this solely, there is no way you would be ever going to Skull Woods Fire Rodless and as a crystal. I mean, Fire Rodless Skull Woods as a pendant, sure, whatever. But if it's a crystal, no way. I'm not going there at all. But unfortunately, it ends up being the situation where you had to go in there to get the mitts, and it was a logically required double dip of Skull Woods, and TreySpyre mentioned this as well. It was also a logical double dip of Turtle Rock, but you ended up doing fake flippers anyway, so you avoided that situation of having to go back into the Waterfall Ferry after you got your flippers from the Magic Bats after picking up the powder, and then going back into Turtle Rock.
This was a seat of extremities for sure. Like Ether was in Dark Cross. There were so many places. Where were the swords? There was a sword in, I believe, Agina's, or no. There were two swords in out of the way places to where you could have gone through that entire seed with butter or with Master Sword, depending on how you rolled the dice, or on what you rolled the dice on. So, and it was like the whole seed was like that. Like the whole seed, we were just saying like, well, what's on Scamfish? What did we abandon on Scamfish? We have no idea what's there. We're gonna blind pull Ped, and it's gonna be nothing. But we're gonna blind pull it because there's nothing else to check on this seed, and we have no idea where to go.
What was on Ped?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't
Couch
look.
cache.
Of course it was.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. It just only makes sense, honestly, because if you were logically, if you were playing this like normally, yeah, that would be the most reasonable thing to do. Because what else are you gonna do with this with this mess of a seed? And then of course there was the purple chest in the mirrorless snitch chain. It's such a planned spot for that
purple chest after, but behind that, that Skull Woods. Oh yeah, it was awful.
Yeah.
No way to slice it out of the way. You just pretty much said it. It was awful. Yeah, and it really just came down to the timing of when one of you two ended up going to do the purple chest and the mirrorless smith chain. It really just came down to that. And again, it perfectly makes sense. It's such a dumb seed because of the way the logic lined up. You either did it or you didn't.
I'm glad you've already spoken to this seed's manager for us. Thank you, Prof.
Hey, someone's got to do it, and if Prof wants to take that role, by all means.
Yeah.
Like really, the logic of this felt like something that I normally roll. Not gonna lie, I promise I didn't roll this one.
No, we did have that conversation though.
Yeah.
I mean, we can always just blame Saha bots.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
fair.
Yeah.
That works.
Saha Spot and Lazy Kid are terrible seed rollers. Even
Okay, where was the silvers? Anybody find them?
Again, it's
World.
in Light World. So I'm guessing either K45 or honestly, I think it's on the mushroom turn-in.
Yeah.
because the mushrooms in GT. But
Yeah.
silvers are always in GT. Exactly my point.
except he's a Light World, so it's either behind the mirror or on that mushroom.
Nobody
Yeah.
found
Or
the
behind
food either.
I guess they could be behind the boots. There's a bunch of Light World stuff we didn't do.
Did we ever see
the
Sora? We don't know.
No, we never got back there. We never
I-
saw Zora.
We did Zora, but that was during a whole bunch of tech issues.
Yeah. It was just.
I said it was nothing. All right.
It was just a bunch
Yeah.
of bombs.
That's
Okay.
good. All right. We can finally
All
sort
right.
that out.
Well, I think next week Ken's gonna be back with a new mentor if we can get some new better routers for him, because honestly I'm just falling behind saying like yep, just kind of just like walking behind. I'm like, yeah, that sounds good. Okay, yeah, go in there. But next week Ken's gonna be back with new internet and a new controller, so hopefully his execution's gonna be down a little better, and he's gonna be able to communicate back and forth a little faster, and we're just gonna get better and better every week, and by the end of this we're gonna swing back to 3-3, right, Ken?
I'm gonna try.
3-3.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it, man. Anyway, other than that, if there is any final thoughts to say about this, go ahead and sign off. If there isn't error ready to talk about this mess.
Mess is putting it lightly, but yeah, this was a good one. Just actually thinking about it, it was a pretty good one.
Definitely made you think. Thanks everybody for putting this on. Much appreciated.
No problem. Yeah, and as for you, Ken and John.
GG, thanks crew. You guys put this on very last second, and this tournament, we named the file "It's Ken Time" because this tournament, this is Ken's training montage, and by the end of it, you're gonna see someone who you're definitely afraid to run into on the ladder when you're new.
I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see it. I cannot wait for to see it. Anyway, again, GG's to all of you. You did an excellent job, and yeah. So that is going to do it for this match. Although, don't go away just yet, because coming up pretty soon, we do have another match down the pipeline here. And that match in particular, I'm going to get the... It is going to be Jon Snow, mentored by WinFox470, and Pix, mentored by Radical Sniper 99. Definitely want to stick that out. I want to check out, stick around here. It's going to be starting at 11 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Yeah, and just thanks to everyone for coming out to watch this, and shouts to TJjoll, Linktothepastken, and also TreySpyre and JohnBono. Give them a follow as well. Give myself, Professor Render, and Blackwax a follow as well. Our tracker was 2D Tones. Give him a follow as well. And also Kodo Tyran, sticking it out to the very end. Give him a follow as well. He is your restreamer. But if that's that'll do it for me, Blackwax, sorry. And just again, stick around for up until 11 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and we'll have another match with you in just a bit. So take it easy, and stick around and stay tuned.
Bye.